Good evening, everyone.
Of course, the fire investigators, fire department officials have spent this day on the scene, and Linda Hudwalker tells us tonight they still do not know what caused yesterday afternoon's fire.
The state fire marshal's office sent a team to find out why this gym burned down. Some witnesses heard an explosion, but investigators don't think that's what started the fire.
Generally, the explosion becomes from a buildup of heat that actually ventilates itself and blows the windows out, and everybody says explosion, but that's merely fire searching for oxygen.
The building will still be closed Thursday because of structural concerns. The west wall was torn down to make the scene safer, and a fence holds back the steady stream of onlookers. Many of them are students, parents, or teachers.
It's got a lot of memories. It's tough to lose something like this. We've got a lot of kids that spend a lot of hours in this place doing a lot of good things for the school.
NU High sports teams may not make any more memories in this field house, but there are a lot of sports highlights from past years that won't be forgotten. None of these trophies were damaged in the fire. Where the Little Panthers will play next season is up in the air. These students decided to start raising money to help rebuild.
Because they said, we heard some people say that if they don't get a gym, they're not going to open the school at all.
So you're afraid of that happening?
Of course, we're part of a Regents institution, so their decision, their policy is what governs our existence. But because of our really inextricable kind of relationship with teacher education here at the University of Northern Iowa, we have every belief that will continue.
The more immediate concerns of rescheduling activities will be handled on a day-to-day basis. In Cedar Falls, I'm Linda Hudwalker for Iowa's News Channel.
Electricians to check out the wiring. Those are some things they're going to have to do before they reopen and bring people back for any of the classes or activities. Joining me now is Keith King. And Keith, in spite of what it may cost for the damage and the fix-up job, it could have been a lot costlier.
Absolutely, Dave. Remember, classes here ended just 2 weeks ago, and on any given day during the school year, you could easily find an average of 850 people inside these buildings. So, with this timing of this fire, it could have been much more costly. People are turning out to see what's left of the Nielsen Fieldhouse. Many are students who take gym class here. And while teenagers rarely view life as short, even they realize what could have happened.
That would have been devastating if there had been gym class in there. Might have been lives lost even, I don't know.
Does that scare you a little bit, thinking about your friends?
Yeah, it does.
Parents are coming out as well. Virginia Tholstrom's 3 children go to school here.
It makes you realize that you can't take anything for granted, and disaster can happen anywhere.
The school built the field house in the late 50s. This photo was taken in 1957. Engineers made it large enough to hold 4 full-size basketball courts and 1,800 spectators. Remember, the fire started around 2:30 yesterday afternoon. Normally at that time, 110 middle school students would be in the gym. As a PE teacher, Paul Wack spends a lot of hours in the field house.
It could have been a lot worse. We're very fortunate that way that, nobody did, lose their life, and school wasn't in session. We didn't, we've learned a lot through this situation, and hopefully that'll make us prepare for the future disaster like this.
Instead of wondering what could have happened, most now worry about the future of the field house. Some students are already doing their part to help raise money. So despite the $3 million, estimated $3 million repair cost, everyone that I spoke to today is grateful. The fire spared the ultimate price, a human life. Bruce and Alicia?
Keith, I'm just looking behind you there. Does it look like, are all the walls down now, and is the investigation into the rubble underway already?
Well, directly behind me, you can see some of the walls that have been taken down partially in the field house. They did tear down some of them earlier today, but a few of them are still standing.
Okay. But so have they searched the rubble yet, do you know?
Yes. They have searched the rubble. That is correct.
It's underway. All right. Keith King and Dave Franzman, thank you very much. Live in Cedar Falls.